Welcome to Svaneholm Castle. Svaneholm Castle is situated in the very south of Sweden. My name is Bertil Nilsson. I am chairman of the association which own the castle. And we work in very close cooperation with the museum association. And now we will go inside the castle and see a little more about the museum. And there we will meet Mrs. Gunni von Blixen, Vice Chairman of the Museum Association. So, welcome to the castle.
Hello, welcome to Svaneholm's Castle. My name is Gunni and I'm your guide today. I'm going to show you the castle from the inside. This is a castle built in the beginning of 1500. And it's a four-wing Renaissance castle with step gables and loopholes for far and close defense. The most famous person living on this castle is Rutger MacLean. He inherited the castle in the late 1700s, and when he came, the estate was in a very poor state. The thing is that he was a very educated man, and he was a politician, member of parliament, and also member of the court, the royal court in Stockholm. But when he came here, it needed a lot of work to be done. And his great interest, you can tell by the books here, were agriculture and economy. And the books here shows that he knows German, French, and English. And this unique library was well used, frequently used by him. So when he came here, he decided to change everything. He introduced land parceling and made the families and children to go to school. So this man has done a great deal to this part of Sweden. Just now we are preparing an exhibition, an extended exhibition of Rutger MacLean, and we have laid the table here to show that he is taking part in a meal with his very good friend Carl August Ehrensvärd. And behind me here you can see the heraldic coat of arms, Rutger MacLean's heraldic coat of arms. In 1935, this place became a museum. The last owner, Count Carl Augustin Ehrensvärd, had died and his wife could not afford staying. So they turned it into a museum, and the museum was to show how the rich people, the nobility lived, and how the peasantry lived. Now we are in a typical room from the nobility section, and you can see this is a nice setting up table and sofas and chairs, and this is the room where they had their tea and coffee in the afternoon, because the sun from the west would shine into this room and it would keep warm. This is the shooting loft, and you can tell it's the shooting loft because of the loopholes you see in the wall. This is where you defended the castle against enemies with far-range and short-range defense. Now we are in the peasantry section. The peasants, when they lived on the farm, they did everything in one room, a big room, the beds, the kitchen, and the eating area. So when the farmers had their meal, they would sit along this table, not only the family and children, but also the people working on the farm. And no plates existed, only these wooden trays. And each one would have a spoon, and they would eat from the same bowl. Here, the master, the farmer, would sit next to the cupboard where he kept the schnapps and the bottle of schnapps, so he could invite people for schnapps when they came. Now, this is our intention, to show you all how the peasantry lived and the rich people lived during the 1800s.
Isn't this beautiful? Now when we see the Svaneholm Castle from another direction. As you also see some of our boats out in the lake, and people are fishing or just going around with the boats. So it's very popular, and it's sometimes difficult to find the time to hire a boat. But it's also a possibility to use the path around the lake and walk around the lake. And then after you have been walking around the lake, I think it will be time to take a cup of coffee. I have just left the walking path around the lake, as well as 60,000 other people which do the same every year. And now I am very hungry and I want a coffee, but it will take some more days before the cafeteria will open behind me in this house. It is a restaurant at the castle which will also open that in the 21st of June. And we really hope that this cafeteria will be a new possibility for people walking around the lake, and that it will be really a help for us when we develop Svaneholm Castle as a destination for all people. And now you see our beautiful Svaneholm Castle again. Every year, more than 100,000 people visiting the area. People are walking around the lake. They are staying in the park to have picnic or play tennis. They are visiting the restaurant, and in some week also the new cafeteria and the museum. And in some time, next year we hope, we also will have a playground close to the museum. So more and more we really hope that the Svaneholm Castle and the environment really will be a destination for all in the future.